Do you see cats all the time, or do you have one as a pet? Cats are incredible sources of information for us in terms of how we interact with the spirit world. And they are incredible messengers between the spirit world and the earth plane. And I have had some pretty exciting experiences with cats. They show up for me all the time, and I don't even have one as a pet. And so I just wanted to pop on here because yesterday was a crazy cat caper day for sure. And I had some really great insights and shifting come out of that that has really helped me get back on path. I kind of fell off on my path a little bit there, or I don't know, kind of stalled out a little bit. And I know that many of us have been experiencing something like this in this past month. This has been a challenging month for many of us, with the 6 energy and the 5 energy, the 6 energy month, 5 energy year. Sometimes those don't play very well together comfortably because the 6 wants balance and kind of like a stability, right? And the 5 is all about change and disruption. The 6 wants peace at any cost. And so it's been a little bit of a challenge this past month for me. And so I've been, playing around with signs and synchronicities for quite some time, and learning about triggers and how to transmute triggers and all of that kind of stuff. And this experience I had yesterday with the cats was pretty fun. So in the morning, I have a neighbor who lives across from my kitchen window that has 2 cats, a white cat and a black cat. And when the white cat shows up in their window, I know that I am going to be doing some releasing, some cleansing, some purification of body and mind. And when the black cat shows up, I know that I am going to be focused on my spiritual connection and playing around with energies and being the master alchemist that I am. And really diving into that. And so those cats always show up to give me reminders of what my focus needs to be in that moment when I see them. And then there's some other cats that showed up for me yesterday, though. So I had the black cat show up for me in the morning with the kitchen window, and then I opened a card that actually arrived Monday, but I never opened it, from my sister, which had a black cat on it for Halloween. And so that was the second black cat. And then the third cat, I don't know what color it was. I never actually saw the cat. There was a woman who for 2 days now in our neighborhood has been trying to get her cat out of a tree. And she's been, I think it moved trees too somehow. Maybe it jumped from one tree to another or something. I don't know what happened, but she was over across the street yesterday or the day before, and then yesterday she was like on the roof of the building next door trying to get her cat out of this tree. And she was at it for hours, and it was getting so irritating because, I just kept hearing her over and over trying to coax this cat out of the tree. And I'm like, oh, she's in so much drama with this cat right now, and I'm, all the judgments coming in and everything. And I started getting irritated, and so I left. I went out for a couple of hours, and I came back, and she was still at it. And so as I was sitting there getting irritated, and I put on some music to try and drown it out, and it wasn't working, and all of this stuff. And then I paused for a second, and I said, oh, wait a minute. I'm sitting here in judgment of her getting caught up in drama, but here I am getting triggered. I'm getting caught up in drama with it now. So there's a message here for me. What is the message? And so then I looked up, spiritual significance of cats, and then it found its way to me was what to do when a cat gets stuck in a tree. And so I discovered that the cat won't come out of the tree by itself in most cases. It either has to be coaxed out, or it's going to end up falling out eventually when it can no longer hold on. And depending on the age of the cat and whether the cat's used to being outside and all of this stuff could depend on how long it can hold on. And even if it falls, It can live if it can survive a fall of up to 100 feet. And all of this is interesting to me because of the messages that come through with that for me personally about control, about holding on, about getting caught up in drama, or choosing to let go and jump into the unknown, right? So there's two ways a cat can come down out of a tree. One is to back its way down, go backwards the way it came up. It can't go face down the tree. They're like, the cat's not designed to be able to do that. So it can't go forward and go down at the same time, which is interesting on, if you think of it on a more spiritual level. We can't go forward and go down. We must keep going up. So the cat's telling us, go up, ascend, keep going upwards, right? But then the cat's stuck in the tree and it's scared and it doesn't know how to get out. And the way out, the other way out, is to fall or to jump, right? So jumping into the unknown, leaping into the unknown, and trusting that even if that's 100-foot fall, you're going to be okay. It was a beautiful message when I finally got it. It took me a while to get the message, but when I finally got it, it was really beautiful. And really seeing, the beauty of that 9 of Hearts energy yesterday, of the letting go and trusting, and really, combined with the 6, with the trust and the intuitive knowing that the way to move higher is to let go, is to climb and just leap into the unknown. And, the cat somehow finally came out of the tree. And so it was, all ended well. I don't know how it came out. I don't know if she finally coaxed it down or what, but the remembrance for me also was twofold. It was that, but it was also remembering that when I'm triggered, I can look at the trigger and decide what is being mirrored back to me. And what was being mirrored back to me was not only this letting go of control, but also the idea of, oh, wait a minute, I can create whatever I want here. I forgot in that time that I was being irritated, that I'm source, that I'm a conscious creator, that I can create whatever experience I want, that if I don't like what's happening in my environment, which was a disruption of my peace, then I can create that peace for myself, that I don't have to continue being in an environment that isn't one that I'm enjoying fully. And so the remembrance of that, the remembrance that I am so powerful as a creator. Cats know this. Cats are masters of energy. They know how to alchemize energy, manipulate energy, and they know how to feel into energy and intuit what it means, and move through it very adeptly, right? So they're such great messengers and reminders of this, of our power as spiritual beings, of our power as conscious creators. And that at any moment, if we don't like what we're experiencing, we have the power to change that. We have the power to energetically shift that. We have the power to do that by connecting our minds with our hearts, and our thoughts, our intentions with our feelings. And when we do that, we create the environment that we want. This is what cats are all about. They are the bridge between the seen and the unseen. We have that ability too. We do belong in both worlds, and cats are here to remind us of that. And so that's a beautiful reminder that came through with these cat experiences yesterday. And the other message here is, I got 2 cats before I had that experience with the neighbor that got really annoying, and, I got pulled into drama for a little bit. And so you can avoid drama when you're really paying attention to the signs and synchronicities and the messages that are coming through nature, through other people, through, it'll come to you through many different ways. And the more you ask to be shown and are willing to tune in and be aware, the more you will get those signs and synchronicities, and you will recognize them when they come. And the point about transmuting the the triggers into signs and synchronicities is that when I finally had the awareness, when I took the pause and said, wait a minute, why am I in drama? What's going on here? And then I was willing to be aware of something new and allow myself to fill with compassion for the neighbor, because she was really worried about her cat, and rightly so. You know, I thought, oh, if the cat gets hungry, it's going to come down out of the tree. I didn't know how hard it was for a cat to come down out of a tree until I actually paused and looked into it. And the transmuting of that trigger, when I brought love and compassion into it, is so powerful, and the remembering and looking at what is the message here for me, what is the lesson here for me, why is this showing up in my experience. And once I did that, I got a beautiful message. It now became a synchronicity instead of a trigger. And so that's how we take these triggers that show up in our lives all the time. It's the willingness to look at them, to examine what the message is being called forth for us, what's being mirrored back to us, and allowing that awareness and that acceptance of what is, and the ownership, the taking responsibility of, oh, and I have the power to shift this. I've always had the power, I just forgot I had the power. And having that compassion with myself that I forgot I had the power, and then taking ownership of it and being willing to take action on that power and create what I wanted. And so once I stepped into that, once I stepped into the knowing of that, the trigger disappeared. The noise stopped, the cat got out of the tree somehow, the owner stopped making noise, and all of that went away because I got the message. And so that's how you transmute the triggers into synchronicities, because next time a cat shows up, I'm going to remember to pay more attention, and I'm not going to have to go into a situation where drama kicks up to get my attention to take a closer look. And the more you practice with this, the more often you're going to notice the signs and synchronicities, and the less often you're going to feel triggered by things. So that's the beauty of this work, is that the more that you're willing to become aware and be open to receiving the messages as they come in, you don't have to experience drama as much. And so not that you'll never have drama, but you will experience it less and less in your life. And that's a beautiful thing, because don't we all want to live as drama-free as possible? So hope you guys found this helpful, and watch for the cats, watch for the messages. There's messages coming through all kinds of animals, plants, nature, bugs, everything, other people. They're coming through all kinds of things. So anyway, have a great rest of your day, and let me know if you found this useful in the comments, if you've had some signs and synchronicities of your own or triggers of your own. And if you're interested in working through some of these things on a deeper level, ask me about the brain game. I'll put a link in the comments for the brain game information. It's the way that I learned how to recognize drama and transmute triggers into signs and synchronicities, and really helps me live a much more peaceful life. So if you're interested in expanding into that, ask me about it. I'm happy. I'd love to talk about it. Thanks, and have a great day.